That's it.
Welcome to Galaxy Bound. This is our first summer episode, and we have a couple topics here talking about, Andor and what that brought to the gaming world with Battlefront 2 being reinvigorated. And then we have what we're looking forward to after Andor has finished and what's coming up. And then we have a game after that to play. So we'll get into the first one. Andor finishing brought a reinvigoration of Battlefront 2 in the gaming world. And social media kind of added to that, bringing new life to the old game and bringing the itch of Star Wars gaming that people really want. So,
do we know what the numbers, have you seen any, statistics of, what the jumps were, before and after the show
For Battlefront?
Yeah.
So, yes and no, because the only way that the only platform they can, reliably measure is Steam on PC.
Really?
Yeah. And the game didn't even come to Steam until, years after it came out, because it was exclusive to EA's launcher on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So most people that already had it on the EA launcher, and it didn't transfer over to Steam or anything when that came out. So you had to rebuy it if you wanted it on Steam, which a good number probably did because people are super elitist when it comes to Steam. But that's the only platform that publicly lets you track their numbers. So everything else, I don't think you can even measure reliably.
I did not know that they're the only platform that does that.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same with streaming services. No streaming service publishes their actual numbers and you can't go out and find them. So a lot of analysts have ways that they try to track it, but it's never super accurate.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever a news thing comes out that says so-and-so broke their viewer numbers or whatever, yeah, but you don't actually know that.
Yeah.
So,
but certainly surely those platform companies have to provide analytics to EA about how many people are using their game.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm surprised EA doesn't just come out. You don't even have to show the numbers per platform. It just would be a total of
Right. You'd think they would. They've been strangely silent this whole time about this. I mean, this is a game that came out almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild to think about, but
yeah, I was still living in an apartment when it came out.
Yeah, it was 2017, and so it's an old game that I don't think they ever expected to have anything in the news cycle about at all, and they kind of
or not have made another one by then.
Right, I think they had kind of planned on making a third one, but then they got it scrapped because, well, mostly because Battlefield suffered even more than Battlefront 2 with sales and everything and general sentiment. So then since they were splitting their teams between those two games, they're well, Battlefield is our property. We need to get this good before we can dedicate a licensed game. So they took everyone back onto the Battlefield team full time. And then that was around the time that the EA license for Star Wars game, the exclusive license, was expiring. So now they're well, now we don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the numbers from Steam alone were, I think they take it with a grain of salt, but they broke their record of players on Steam playing the game.
That's crazy.
But think about how many numbers there probably were on the EA launcher when it launched. Yeah. Like probably still like double or triple that number.
Yeah.
And then on console as well.
Yeah, like that's just Steam. So then thinking about all the like more people are probably playing on console. So
right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like these numbers are a smaller portion of like the whole.
It's a good indicator because if it's high on Steam,
then it's even higher on consoles.
Crazy on console, yeah.
And we jumped in and played.
Yeah.
And we had no problem.
I thought you were talking about the Wii console for a second there. And the Wii, like everybody just jumped on the Wii.
They ported the game to the Wii.
Wait, that was on Wii? I didn't know that.
No, me and Brad played Battlefront 2, I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yikes. More than that.
Here we
a month ago.
With his weird concept of time.
A month ago.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
It was December, actually.
And
I mean, all of this stuff went down about a month ago.
Yeah.
Though we haven't had a podcast since then, but
yeah.
We had no problem finding a game.
No. I mean, I've jumped in every once in a while, and I've never had a problem finding a game.
Was it like that a year ago?
Yeah.
Like it was hard to find a game?
No, not to me.
Oh.
Not on console, maybe on PC.
I'd say it would take longer than usual.
The other thing to keep in mind is there isn't crossplay on that game. So you're just dedicated to the platform you're on.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people said that PC was dead.
Yeah, I bet
for a long time. So I think that's where a lot of this hype is coming from. Is like, oh, it's alive on PC. Whereas like it was mostly alive on console for the most part.
Yeah. That's sweet. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I have a discussion question. With this reinvigoration of Star Wars games, what would be your ideal Star Wars game?
We just both took the longest sigh.
Yeah. Because it just is kind of crazy that it hasn't been done. But for mine, it's just an open world RPG where you create your character and you choose what career you want. So like if you want to be a Jedi, then you go down, like you start as a Padawan, like kind of like Hogwarts Legacy. Like I want Hogwarts Legacy in Star Wars, but maybe that's just for the Jedi path. So like you start as a Padawan in the Jedi Temple and you like go to class and like you learn all this stuff and then like a story unfolds and you like encounter a Sith or something.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. But then like maybe another path is like you're a smuggler. And so you start out as like a captain of some freighter as like a crew or something. And then like your captain dies and you become the captain. And then like you gotta, similar to like Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
And then like maybe there's about like kind of like Old Republic, but not an MMO. But maybe like a modern MMO.
Yeah.
Not like a traditional like
there could be like
slash
4 or 5 different characters or like houses that you could choose that are like paths and like one's a Jedi path and you could split off like dark or light with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could be like, depending on the timeline of the game, like you could be like in the Republic Army, like you could be.
So basically the Old Republic, but a new version of it. Because you can do that in the Old Republic. Like you choose your career. Like if you're a Jedi or a Sith, Republic trooper, smuggler, bounty hunter, or Imperial agent.
The thing I would want in this Hogwarts Star Wars with these different storylines.
Hogwarts.
I would want all of those different storylines to be interconnected in some way to a bigger story.
That was the cool thing about Old Republic is they were kind of connected in some way.
Yeah, somehow.
Like, you're the smuggler and I'm the Jedi, but our stories
eventually
after the same goal.
Yeah.
Just get there differently.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, they somehow
Or-
all like converge or something like that.
Or at the very least, like, they're taking place
At the same time.
at the same time.
His story mentions me
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
at some point.
yeah, we just want the Old Republic.
Yeah,
But new,
modern.
because that's what happens in the Old Republic too. Like, what's a good example?
Well, in Old Republic, do you have the same type of process that's in Hogwarts Legacy where like each interaction you're given like 3 different responses, and depending on your response, that starts to form your character's, I guess, like style of...
Yeah, there's like a light and dark system. So like
okay.
you can choose a light side option.
Okay.
And then like you have a meter of like how light or dark you are. And you get benefits depending on like which end you end up in. But if you're in the middle, I don't think you get anything. But you can kind of like go back and forth depending on what you do. But like you'll have an option of like someone's in need of help, and like the light side option will be like help them. The middle option will just be like have someone else help them, or the dark side option will be like leave or kill them.
Yeah, in Hogwarts Legacy, you don't ever see your meter, but you it's
kind of there.
Yeah, you can still kind of tell based on like the benefits you're getting and like how your character responds to other people or the people you start interacting with more, and
and the way they respond to you.
Oh, you're like a monster.
Yeah, I mean, in Old Republic, sometimes if you're a Sith and if you're like full dark side, you'll see like the transformation in your face. Like you get Sith eyes and like
pale skin.
pale skin and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so sometimes you'll come in contact with someone and be like, "Oh, what's wrong with your face?" Or if you're an alien and you're a Sith, it'd be like, "What kind of monstrosity are you?" Because they're like xenophobic or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, like just that, but like a modern game. And like I don't want it to be like a traditional MMO combat. I would want it to be more like, honestly, like the Jedi games. Like Jedi Survivor. Like I feel like that would be really good. Like I don't know, more modern. Because in Old Republic, like it's just you have a huge ability bar and you just press a button to do an ability.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's lame.
I mean, that's how MMOs used to be like that. And so I want the world and like how the different like careers and classes work in Old Republic, but not that combat.
Yeah. Yes.
And like modern graphics and stuff.
Yeah. Survivor and Hogwarts Legacy have like a really good balance between open combat and also like some cut scenes where you're having to choose like, all right, hold down triangle to like, or do whatever. And you like have these like combos that you build up and it's like cutscene style. I kind of like that. And Hogwarts Legacy is like that too. Like once you kind of get into like a wand battle, you're like, press O.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, to like it's more of like a what's it called? A Souls-like. It's like
staged combat
based off of like Dark Souls combat, where it's like you can block and parry and then dodge.
Yeah,
it's like based on that. I think it's a good system.
Yeah. Yeah, my answer to that question of like what game I would like to see, I would like to see a either restored or a different storyline of the Republic Commando game. Something in Clone Wars, but maybe even like closer towards Order 66. I don't remember if Order 66 is in that game or not.
No.
Yeah. I think that would be cool. Kind of, I mean, honestly, maybe like a Bad Batch game.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people kind of thought that they were going to do, is like a sequel to Republic Commando, but it's the Bad Batch.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Going up against the old Republic Commando, because you have Scorch in the show. So like it felt like they were setting something like that up.
Yeah.
and then Scorch just dies, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he died. I don't know. I was just super disappointed by that. Like, why bother bringing him in?
Mm-hmm.
So dumb.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be like the goofy one,
Mm.
and like he's just which they could have explained, like the chip made him this way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kind of silly.
Yeah.
I still think they could do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they should.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are calling for that
Mm-hmm.
to be made. They have been for a while. And like they could have really cool co-op for that.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like Ghost Recon probably.
Yeah.
You're just the squad of 4 Republic Commando or like the Bad Batch crew or something like that.
Yeah.
Everyone has like their own special abilities. It'd be so fun. It'd be so fun to play as Wrecker.
Oh, that would be like Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always
The heavy.
Yes.
heavy.
Riot Shield.
Yeah.
RPG.
So is Drew.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my second question would be, would you want a Battlefront 3, or would you want another developer to make a new and fresh first-person shooter game like that in the Star Wars universe?
So that was going to be my second part of the question, which we've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
When we were playing Battlefront, we talked about this, I think. I just want like a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But in Star Wars. Like, it's similar to Battlefront, but like Battlefront is more like Battlefield, where it's like the big maps
Mhm.
with vehicles and like obviously there's heroes. And I would want more of like Call of Duty, where it's like smaller maps, 6v6, no heroes, it's just gunplay. And you could have it like be certain eras and like how Battlefront does it, but I feel like it would almost be more fun if they just didn't care about that. You could just like pick whatever character you want, whatever guns you want, and whatever map comes up, and like you could just do whatever you want, rather than like trying to keep it like, oh, it's got to be stormtroopers versus rebels or clones versus droids.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would just be more fun if it was just like more of a sandbox kind of thing. I think that would be really fun.
So you could introduce like heroes in that way as just purely cosmetic.
That's what we talked about, I think, right? I've talked about this with so many people now.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you could like not have like Anakin using a gun, but like have gun using heroes like Han Solo or Andor or something like
all the clones.
Yeah, and like because there's so many heroes like that you could choose from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
all the non-Jedis.
Yeah.
Basically. There's so many.
There's
bounty hunters. Well, we talked about when we were playing that you could keep it more divided, even though you're kind of wanting a sandbox, and just have like, Mandalorians versus stormtroopers, or Mandalorians versus clones, or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and then you'd have
cool
your
too.
cosmetic things you could choose from when that pops up, and it'd be cool.
Yeah. That's what I think they should do. But I also would want a Battlefront 3.
Right.
Like I would want them both in a perfect world. But
so would you want Activision to make the Star Wars FPS?
I guess just because I really like the Call of Duty engine and where it is now. It's like some of the smoothest gunplay out there, but I mean, it doesn't take a lot to make a good FPS these days.
Yeah.
I mean, as like mechanically.
Yes.
So like, I think anyone could probably do it pretty well. But yeah, I think that would be really cool. Like stop having like 7 studios work on Call of Duty. And, take one of them, let them make something else for once.
Yeah.
That would be nice. But if they did Battlefront 3, I think it should be the original team.
Yeah.
And, none of them work there anymore.
Yeah.
At EA, so a lot of them left because they weren't able to they didn't want to work on Battlefield. They wanted to work on Battlefront. And so a lot of them left, and a lot of them went to a specific studio together. But they've said, there was a dev that was on Reddit that said a lot of us want to get the band back together, and we have a plan of how we could make it work. And he listed all of the steps of
dang.
Let's update Battlefront 2 a little bit and get it some of those bugs fixed, and then we'll move on to planning out what we want to do for the sequel or for the third game. And he listed a whole bunch of different steps.
They can't start their own studio?
I mean, they did, but I feel I don't know if EA has the rights to Battlefront. Or,
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they probably do. It's probably a co-license with Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
At this point.
But that doesn't mean that they couldn't make a Star Wars FPS themselves.
Right.
And just name it something else.
I mean, they'd have to get license from Lucasfilm, but
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they were the ones to do instead of the Call of Duty developers, and they went and made their own, then that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. But at this point, I mean,
take anything.
Yeah.
Going back to your first question, I just thought of this game when we were talking about having some additions to the Battlefront. A game that is very underrated that I think would be cool to have maybe a sequel of is Bounty Hunter. That was such a good game.
Yes.
And I think with The Mandalorian being popular, I think they could do
Mandalorian game.
It would be like a Mandalorian game, but just call it Bounty Hunter 2. And it's basically I don't know if maybe the movie version or the game version of the show, but having the Mandalorian be the character in the show and do a whole different story with him in that game. I think that would be really cool. That game was just so ahead of its time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough to go back to the original.
Well, yeah.
The controls are terrible.
Yeah.
But they did remake it last year.
Oh, they did?
They've ported it twice now, but the second time that they ported it, they fixed the controls and they updated the graphics a little bit. So, yeah, once that goes on a good sale, I want to pick that up and replay it. But because I tried to replay the first port, then they didn't change a thing. And the controls are, I think you did the same thing, right?
It glitched.
Because he had never played it before.
Yeah.
It glitched 2 hours into the game and I couldn't.
And the control, you don't
you get stuck in a, halfway in the game and I remember this happening when we would play it.
It happened to you. I don't think it happened to me.
You would try and jump up on things and then your body would get stuck in a corner of the game and you could turn and you could see all the blank space behind the game.
Happened to you?
No, but I have had that happen.
It would happen all the time playing that game.
I got stuck. I forget where, but it was a city town area. And then I jumped into a lower section and you're not supposed to go there apparently. And there's no way out. I'm just stuck there. So.
Dang.
Yeah.
There's no way to
I just
restart the level
uninstalled the game. No, I just stopped playing it.
Threw away his Xbox.
So I'd also give it a second chance on the newer remastered version.
I'll plan on buying that on PlayStation.
Yeah. But if they remade that with the modern Survivor style of gameplay and movement and controls and things, oh man, that'd be so good.
Yeah.
But you want a sequel.
Yeah, I think keeping it calling it Bounty Hunter 2 and just have it.
But would it make more sense to be about Boba for a sequel?
Yeah. It could be both of them.
Yeah. Could be like
True.
Book of Boba Fett, where they both are in it for some period of time.
One more than the other. Oh, that would be so funny if they did that, but the opposite. It's all about Din, and then just a little bit about Boba.
Well, I think,
but then the Boba part is the best part.
Yeah, I think honestly, fans that have never played the first one, to get them to play it, I think you would probably want it to be about Din, because not that Boba Fett doesn't have like an appeal to like go play, but like the younger audience today would be more apt to go play something with Din, because
and then just
he's on the front of their mind.
Have
with
Boba
like,
as a cameo.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised they haven't made a Mandalorian game.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure the other game that Respawn was supposed to be making was that.
Oh, man.
You think?
Like, it was like all but confirmed that it was going to be a Mandalorian game, and they canceled it, but I think they just shelved it, which that's another reference of a topic that I probably should have put in here of news that dropped yesterday. So like if they shelved it, that means that they could always go back to it. They just put it on pause.
Dang.
Yeah.
That came out yesterday?
Not for this game, for a different topic.
Non-Star Wars?
No, Star Wars related.
Oh.
Should I just jump into it now?
Yeah.
So yesterday, news dropped about the Rey movie.
Oh.
That they said it's being temporarily put on hold. Which, to me, doesn't seem like news. It seems like we kind of already knew that, because we've got Mando and then Starfighter. And that's going to take up the next 2.5 years. So, like, in my mind, like...
Where are they squeezing that into?
Yeah, like, it was going to come out after that anyways, and that's another 3.5 years from now.
Oh, that'd be another Solo just waiting to happen.
Yeah. So, I think it's kind of like a non-news thing, but the reason I bring it up is because a lot of the headlines said Rey movie officially shelved, which in my mind makes it seem more final and like as if it's canceled. If you shelve something, that kind of just makes it more final sounding. So there was a lot of clickbait with that. But the official report, which it's a report, not an announcement, said temporarily on hold. So, yeah, that came out yesterday.
And that's not because of like acting and thing. Like, it's not because of her.
No. Because remember last time we talked about this, the report was they switched to a new writer. But the report said that the original writer mostly had it finished, and the new writer just came on to like put it across the finish line.
Yeah.
But I think that was before they kind of decided that Starfighter was gonna, be the next thing.
Yeah.
So I just think they're just shifting around things. Like, I think Starfighter is a safer bet right now. So I don't think it's really that big of a deal.
I should hope so. They did a huge thing at Celebration with that. So
yeah. I mean, we can jump into that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to
a little part of the next thing, but
well, Andor finished, and we have things to look forward to.
Okay,
that
Starfighter
sucks. The Rey thing, because that was one of the things we were looking forward to in a couple of years.
Wee-hoo.
I was.
Are you not?
Because
Rey?
We've talked about this last time, but
she can disappear into the fog.
But think about what it would mean for her movie. Like, she's rebuilding the Jedi Order. Like, there would be a lot of Jedi involved. I feel like that would be a really cool story.
True.
Yeah. Say what you said to me a while ago.
Say my name.
About
the future movie idea.
Yeah. With like taking the idea of how Luke built his Jedi Academy, but giving that to Rey and doing it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, because in Legends, Luke, rebuilt the Jedi and had his Jedi Academy, and it was mostly successful for the most part. But, in canon, he kind of rebuilds it and then everyone dies. So it's not very successful, but they could, give that loose story to Rey and have her be successful with it, which, might make some people mad or whatever. But then think about what that means for the future of Star Wars. Like, I'm not talking about like a decade, but like 100 years after Rey rebuilds the Jedi. So the Jedi are back at their height, or like somewhat, in 100 years. And then like you start a story 100 years after that with completely new characters, but then you have all of this rich history to like not necessarily like reference, but I mean maybe every once in a while
like it's there.
Yeah rather
flashbacks,
rather than like going into the past where like a lot of that storytelling from Legends is like still kind of up in the air, and like you risk like changing things that people liked about Legends, and whereas like 100 years in the future, like you can start completely fresh and have canon to reference back to. I just think that would be I do think that is their plan. That's why they want to get the Rey movie out there, to kind of start that process.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see how Starfighter is involved, because that does take place in the future as well.
Is that around the same time as the Rey movie?
I think it's before the Rey movie.
Okay.
Like, so it's like because the Rey movie is allegedly taking place like 10 years or maybe 20 years after Rise of Skywalker. So it'd be like somewhere in the middle. But it's also supposed to be like not related to
just
that
movie
story. So that's why I'm like really looking forward to it, because it's supposed to be like a standalone thing.
Yeah. Well, that starts filming in September.
Yeah. So that's going to be, we're going to start seeing some marketing for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon.
And then the next thing is the Mandalorian movie is in May next year.
Yeah. You put so far away in the dock, but in my mind, it's getting close.
Because in my mind, I keep
it is still
thinking,
a year out.
I keep thinking that it's coming out in December.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, that's close. But
they usually do.
Yeah. And it's in May.
Yeah, recently they have.
So, yeah, it's a year out.
All the prequels came out in May. And the originals, too. But, yeah, I think that'll be a good summer movie.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Yeah. But, yeah, it's coming up. We really need to get a trailer at some point, or a teaser. Like, they showed the crowd a teaser for that movie at Celebration.
Yeah.
So we've got to see that soon.
I mean, we'll definitely start seeing stuff in December, I would hope.
Yeah.
So. And then season 2 of Ahsoka is filming right now in the UK. So, some promising things coming our way, but nothing right
soon
now.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
I feel like that's okay, because not that they like crammed a bunch of stuff in, but like the last 2 years, they've had a lot of stuff like back to back to back with not a lot of like space in between.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, but.
Well, I don't think that was intentional, especially with Skeleton Crew being so close to Andor. That wasn't like Skeleton Crew was supposed to come out like a year before it did.
That's true.
But the strikes, I think, delayed that by quite a bit.
Forgot about that.
And they really wanted it to come out in December, like during Christmas time.
Yeah.
So they delayed it a whole year.
So weird.
Yeah.
For the children.
That was so stressful to cover that during Christmas time. But fun.
I missed that show.
In a good way. Stressful in a good way.
It was a good show too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they do eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, we still never watched Treasure Planet.
I did a couple months after that.
For the first time?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
So good.
Yes.
And was pretty much the same.
Shot for shot. Not shot for shot.
Almost.
Yeah.
Like, main story beats are there. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
So it's based off of Treasure Island, the book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It might be one of my favorite movies.
It's one of our favorites.
So
It's
so
plus,
it's probably my second favorite Disney movie.
Yeah. So me and Caitlin went and just watched all of those 90s movies with that animation style and everything.
So you watched Atlantis?
Yeah.
That's might be my third favorite.
Yeah, they're
Atlantis
all good.
is so good.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the prime.
Yeah. Those are the movies that people are begging for live action remakes. Not
That make the most sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're easier to, not, I guess, easier to make, but like they are more applicable to make live action remakes rather than like Lion King or, I mean, Stitch is fine. I don't know how it did in theaters, but like
Apparently really well.
Really? But those are harder to do because you're dealing with like aliens and animals and like, it's weird seeing a real life looking lion talk and sing or whatever, rather than like Atlantis. You've got 90% of the cast and animations that you would need to do are just
practical, or not practical, but
they're
environments.
Humans. Yeah. It's all humans. Yeah. So
are Atlanteans humans?
Yeah, they're on Earth.
But are they humans?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like a different species almost.
It's like saying cavemen aren't humans.
No.
Technically.
I mean,
what
generation of cavemen?
Neanderthals might be considered a different species.
But just a dude that lives in a cave? I think that's pretty human.
Anyways, those movies are great. Yeah. I'm glad you watched those.
Yeah. I would love to see Atlantis in live action.
Yeah. Did either of you guys ever see Atlantis 2?
I feel like we did. Because it was like a TV movie, like on Disney Channel or whatever. Like, it was never in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
It's fine. It's definitely not like to the level of the first one at all.
Like pretty much all sequels from that era were like TV movies that they like cut the budget in like more than a half.
Yeah.
So the animation is not as good.
Yeah, like Tarzan 2.
Yeah, or Aladdin 2.
Yeah.
Or Little Mermaid 2. Like they were all TV movies.
Lion King 1.5.
1.5. Yeah. Although I think Lion King 2 was a official like theater release. Didn't we go see it in the theaters?
I think Little Mermaid 2 was as well.
I don't think it was.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Atlantis 2, not as good as the first one, but as far as like sequels go, not bad. Worth watching.
Okay.
So if they remade or not remade, but if they made live action Treasure Planet, would you rather it be Treasure Planet or Treasure Island?
Treasure Planet.
Because then that is a lot of aliens to deal with.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, you see franchises do aliens really well as far as like making them look good, like Star Wars, Star Trek. Like,
True. That's easier to do than like fur.
Yeah, because a lot of those aliens, they're hominids. So you have people just with like makeup, and it's not all animation.
Right.
You say fur, but then like a lot of those aliens have fur as well.
Well, that they could choose not to do that.
Like the captain is a cat.
Yeah.
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 And the doctor is like a dog thing.
Okay. I retract my statement.
Yeah, because then you have an alien that also has fur, and that's like double whammy.
I was thinking more like Stitch. That would be
one
of the hardest things to do.
A lion for
Well,
Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King.
Like
that
that?
one.
Both.
Yeah.
They're similar.
Still don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if they just did Treasure Island. Because it's the same story, just not in space.
Yeah.
It's a little more grounded.
Because
But
the
then
oldest
you kind of run into like this just feels like Treasure or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, I guess.
No.
But they haven't done a modern Treasure Island.
No, I think the original one might be from the 80s.
I think it's even before that.
Look it up.
You see my new...
Oh,
you're not ready? How about you do it when you're ready?
Yeah.
Show your screen.
I will.
Also helps us not staring at the dock the entire show. Because we all do that. We all just sit there and stare at the dock. And now we have to stare at ourselves.
It is in the 50s.
50s?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What?
Because the book itself
And
is
it's in color?
Looks like it.
Yeah, they had color in the 50s.
I definitely thought it was like 60s or 70s when they started getting color on TV.
No. Because, like...
Wizard of Oz was
the 30s.
Yeah.
And then whenever it finally
30s?
re-released, they made it color.
Yeah.
The 30s.
Long time
It was
ago.
one of the first, like, movies. Or, like, theater release movies, I guess.
39.
What on earth?
Yeah.
Okay, the game.
Yes. Okay. The premise is for the game is guess the scene from its audio.
Ooh.
So we're going to give you a blank screen, and then you'll just hear the audio, and then I'll give you time to guess what the scene is. And then I'm going to show you the scene after you guess with the video and the audio together. And then there's like 10 of them. So,
okay.
So
are we going at the same time, like who guesses it first? Or is it like I go, he goes, I go, he goes?
I figured we would discuss that here. We could either do it a competition of you guys, whoever guesses it first, or we could just do it casual and you guys are just guessing together.
We could do it like Family Feud style where like we each take turns. And if he doesn't get it after his guess, then like I get a chance to steal.
Okay.
So you keeping score?
Yeah.
So we each get 5. You said there's 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we each get 5. And then if the other person doesn't guess,
then you get the chance to guess.
Then I get a chance to steal.
Okay.
Or like him, vice versa. Oh, wait, who's going first?
We'll have you go first.
Okay. Okay.
It's so easy.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
There's a mixture of easy ones and hard ones.
All right.
So I'm guessing the movie?
No, you're guessing the scene.
Okay. I think this is episode 2 when they're on Geonosis in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's when Mace Windu cuts off Jango Fett's head.
Correct.
You hear it plop to the ground.
Yeah, I was trying to think if that was when. Yeah. At first, when I heard his blaster, I was thinking that the first sound that like came to my brain was droidicas. It's like, no, that's not what that is.
They do have similar.
It is very similar.
Yeah. But then when I heard the plop, I was like, oh, that was Jango's blaster.
But if it's a droidica, it'd be like,
yeah.
All right, so you have one.
Sweet. Yeah, that was a great sound choice.
I want a hard one.
There's a mixture.
I like that font.
Thanks.
That X looks like a TV.
All right.
Great choice. So this one actually could be hard because there's two different options that you could probably get confused with. But it's definitely after they fall from the net and C-3PO pops up and then they start like worshiping him and they're all like, what in the world?
Yep. Oh, man.
Han's face, or all their faces are so funny.
Yeah, Han's
Great one.
Oh, man. Okay.
Would you have gotten that?
I would have probably guessed the second one when they were carrying him around on the chair.
Yep. Or when they're passing the wood to light the fire to cook them.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Sounds hard.
I think I know. Is it when they are on Cloud City and they are, I'm going to take a shot in the dark, when they are loading Han into Fett's slave ship and they're seeing him like disappear.
No.
Because I can hear Chewie and Darth Vader. And I'm like, when are they ever in the same room together?
Yeah, this one's hard based off the audio alone. Yeah. But
was I correct with Cloud City?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the scene you're thinking of is way more chaotic than that because they're trying to get to him, so the music is a lot crazier than that, and Vader's not there. It's gotta be when they're in the freezing chamber and it's like right at the beginning of it, I think.
Because they're about to lower him down.
No. Are we able to hear it again?
I don't know.
Well, you're the host.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay.
But we can if you want. Would you like to hear it again too? For your chance?
No, I think I already missed my chance.
Yeah, you already guessed.
Yeah. I should have asked to hear it again, dang it.
Well, if he gets it wrong, it goes back to you.
No, I think if we get it wrong, then it just is no point.
Okay.
But he already guessed.
I know I didn't.
He said something.
I'm
and he's
just
like, no, wait,
thinking
no.
out loud.
Oh, okay.
But it's got to be that because, like you said, there's not many places where they're in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only one that I can think of.
The thing that's throwing me off about that scene is when I can't remember personally if Chewie screams when he's being lowered or as he's coming up and they see him. I can't remember the order. Because I think at least if I was guessing a second time, my guess would be it's the other one. Like Chewie's making this sound when he's either going down or when he's come up. So I just don't know which one it is. Because you can hear some clicks in like the sound, I think, of.
Yeah. How wide of a threshold is there for the scene here?
Well, you specifically said before you said, wait.
Wait.
You said when he's being lowered.
Yeah, but like, could we just say like the freezing chamber scene?
Sure.
Oh, because then it doesn't matter.
That's
a completely different scene
than
yours?
Okay, let's just do the scene of the audio. Like what happens exactly in the audio.
Oh, like, okay. So yeah, we have to be more specific then. I'm going to say.
Yeah, it has to be one of those two.
It's the music. I think it's the beginning. It's when he's. Before he's been put in.
Wrong.
Is it after?
It's after.
Really? I thought the music cues were a little more drastic than that.
That was the sound that should have given it to us.
Yeah, if I heard it again, I probably would have said after. Yeah. I was too focused on listening for Vader.
Yeah.
Seeing what else he was going to do.
Yeah.
But also the music just threw me off.
Mm-hmm. It's the Leia sound.
Yeah, the Leia soundtrack or theme.
But
yeah, that's a great.
You got the
choice.
Scene.
Yeah, I got the scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I got the planet right
in the movie.
Well, you said your second guess would have been like
yeah.
Right.
I was like, I can't remember if Vader was there when he was being loaded into the ship because I thought the click sound was them like closing his ship. But
all right. Okay. Yeah.
So it's the Solo movie. Oh, you forgot to pause it. But yeah, I was gonna guess that. The only time that would have happened when he's trying to communicate with Chewie for the first time. So good.
All right, I'll give it to you.
I really was gonna guess that. It's a pretty distinct scene.
Yeah, is either you know it or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you've seen the movie, you could probably guess that.
That sounded so weird in the headphones.
Yeah, it sounded so much worse.
All right, ready?
Okay. I think I know. Is this when Luke cuts open the tauntaun?
No.
That's what that sounded like. It sounded like he cut open the tauntaun.
Well, first of all, it was Han that cuts open the tauntaun.
Okay. Han cuts open the tauntaun.
Dang, I thought it was easy. But maybe not.
What's your guess?
All right, my guess is Force Awakens when Kylo Ren freezes the blaster bolt.
Yes.
And Poe.
Uh-huh.
What?
Mm-hmm. His lightsaber just has a very distinct sound.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah. I love this part. So cool.
And then after he goes. So, am I going to start or are you going to start?
Yes. Who starts? I start, you start.
Dang. Can you do that one again?
Yeah.
The sound of something sounds like he's cutting like flesh and guts.
Or he just killed.
He killed someone.
The sound that they chose for this. Right there, that like ripping sound, it sounds like guts being...
Yeah.
But it's like the blaster bolt that he's like holding. I don't know why I thought that.
I mean, that's such a cool sound.
Yeah.
I wonder how they made it.
I don't think I caught a blaster the first time I heard it without the visual. I don't think I caught that there was a blaster being fired.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a stolen point.
Dang, I only have
1
point.
It's 3-1. All right.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 2, Droid Factory. Do I have to be more specific than that?
Yes. So much happens in the droid factory.
Is it when his lightsaber is destroyed?
Yep.
Okay.
That was so easy. Yeah, that's a good sound though. That factory metal sound is like so distinct.
Oh yeah. Did you know that whole scene wasn't originally in the script? Like,
Really?
they added it way late in production.
So how did they account for the time of them getting captured?
I think it was just like they arrived and then they got captured. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Or like it just implied that they did something and then got captured or something.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff that happens in
I know, it's one of the
scenes.
coolest scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
And it just tells the backstory of why he has a new lightsaber in the next movie.
Well, no, they would have taken his lightsaber when he got captured, and then when he's in the arena, somebody tosses him the new one anyway.
Yeah.
True. But
yeah. Glad they added that.
Okay. So
That's it. I think there's only 2 scenes that he does that in.
I know. I'm trying to think of the. I actually don't remember his name, but yeah, it's the leader of the Gungan civilization shaking his lips.
But which scene? His name's Boss Nass.
Oh, yeah. He sounded angry in this one, so I'm going to say it's the first one when he's in the Gungan city.
Yes.
Okay. The second one, he sounds a little more happy when he's doing it.
Yeah. I think the second one, you would hear cheering because he's like doing it as they're like cheering for like, let's go kill the droids.
Yeah, this is when
Jar Jar's being banished.
Yeah, and
Misa been banished.
Yeah. All right.
Misa no like the drum.
So easy. Or would you have known it?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 3. On Grievous's ship, when R2's, sliding in, hits the side, or hits the corner, really.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in the ray shields.
Yep. Stupid droid.
Yeah, these are so easy.
Well, I didn't account for...
I mean, the Boss Nass one was kind of easy, too.
Yeah. True.
All right.
Can I hear that again?
I'll allow it.
I just want to hear it again because it's funny. Oh no. This is the last one?
Yeah.
I don't think I know.
Really?
I think it's Han Solo. It just sounds like Harrison Ford's yell. I don't know. When they're running down the hallway of... I don't know. Or maybe they're inside the trash complex. I'm probably wrong, even by saying Han Solo. I don't know.
Wrong.
It's a good guess. And it really goes to show how good they chose Adam Driver as the son of Han Solo. But yeah, it's Kylo Ren when he's having a tantrum.
But when?
Which of his 7 tantrums?
When it's in The Force Awakens, I think it's his first tantrum. Or no. It's the one where he does it and they don't show it. So it might be his second tantrum. Might not even be that movie then. But I know the scene, it's when they show it in the hallway, I think.
The 2 people are walking outside of his room and they hear him.
Yeah, so it might not be The Force Awakens. That might be...
You have the scene correct.
Okay.
It's Force Awakens.
Okay. Yeah, it's in the hallway.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, he nails Harrison Ford's yell.
That sounded like Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That's it.
You gave me 2 Force Awakens ones. And
Yeah.
those are the 3 movies I've seen the least.
Yeah.
It just happened to be that way.
Dang it.
That was good. I like that game.
That was good. Dang, I only went 2 for 5.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Although he stole all of yours.
The 3 that I missed, you stole. Dang it. So what did you end with? 7?
6.
6.
6 to 2.
Because you missed one of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. The freezing chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So close.
No, the freezing chamber was mine originally.
And then he was going to steal it, but he got it wrong.
Yeah, I know, but you should still have. But of your 5.
Yeah.
Because you stole 3 of mine. But you got the Cloud City one wrong. So you should have 7 if you got all 5 of yours right and 2 of mine. But I think you got 1 of yours wrong.
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track.
You still won.
That was a good game. I like that.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's
Nice.
it.
Anything else you want to talk about? There's not a whole lot happening in the Star Wars world right now. What else is coming out?
Those 3 things that we talked about.
Wasn't there something? Sam Whitmer had a little viral thing this past week. Didn't he confirm there was something about Maul that I saw?
I guess that is coming. But
yeah, I can't remember if that's coming out this year or next year.
I think it's after all of this stuff.
Let me see if I can find it.
So we don't have anything for this year.
Mm-mm.
Because the game, Zero Company, is coming out next year as well.
It was something that he had confirmed some rumors about.
Mm.
And he was on a podcast talking about some things and confirmed some things.
I didn't see that.
I think I saw that too, actually. He just talked about what the show's kind of about.
Yeah.
Oh,
It just added a
They
little
already
bit
talked
more
about that.
structure, though, to like what they had announced at Celebration.
Gotcha.
Not that it was like sneak peeks, but some people were asking him, like, could we expect this? Or like, is there going to be this? And he's like, yeah, or no. And so just helped kind of clarify some things.
So it says that's going to premiere in 2026.
Yeah.
No actual date yet. But
So we got nothing for the rest of the year.
mm-mm.
That's sad.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to have to kind of...
Maybe do some deep dives.
Yeah, so do more deep dives, do more games like that. So Spencer hosted this one, so he came up with all of these things, and that's the first time I've had someone else other than me host this, because you guys are co-hosts. So next time, do you want to host it?
Sure.
Or, that doesn't have to be next time exactly, but sometime soon you can come up with what we do.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be, we could mention news, but obviously there's not going to be a lot of news happening. If you just want to come up with just general discussion topics to talk about, like what we've done in the past.
Why all of the movies are named the incorrect name.
Yeah, which we've talked about on this show before. But if we want to get into that again, we can. Or we can do like tier lists or like rankings or whatever. But yeah, we could do deep dives as well. We already did one about Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
But we were originally planning on doing one about Anakin before that. So we could do that again or put that back on the schedule here soon. But yeah, we're going to have to figure out.
A tier list would be fun to do. Have you seen like the websites where you can like do those?
Yeah.
We could do some like character tier ratings.
You know what else might be kind of fun? You know that Wavelength game? We could do a Star Wars edition for that.
Wavelength?
Yeah.
Yeah, the game that you have where it has like the wheel and you have to decide like how like on one spectrum or the other. Yeah.
I was thinking like a video game. Like,
there is an app for that game where you can just use it on your phone.
Yeah, you could do a Star Wars version of that.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, last time we played it, there was a Star Wars question, wasn't there?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we could figure that out. I also want to play Sabacc.
Yes.
Oh, yes. We just need it.
Well, that's something we could talk about. The show's not over. We played the DLC for Outlaws.
I played the first one.
Oh, you haven't played the second one yet?
No.
Is it good?
It's good. Both of them are good.
Just as good as the story.
Really?
Yeah.
How long is it?
Not too long.
Did it
like enough to be worth it to play?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I did it in 2 days.
The first one.
Like 2 sittings.
The second one's longer than the first.
How long did it take you to do the whole game?
A long time.
Okay.
3 weeks.
That's probably about mine to me. Yeah.
I mean, depends on how often you're playing.
Yeah, like 3 hours every time you're sitting down to play it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did it over paternity leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the second one is longer than the first, and it involves Hondo. So it's pretty good. And the first one involves Lando.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Nice.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, it's really good.
You're basically, I don't want to spoil anything, just in case you want to play it, but yeah, well.
What's the premise like?
I don't think he's going to play it anytime soon because you have to buy it.
Yeah.
So.
You basically, I mean, there's a lot of setup to it, but you basically have to go undercover and play a Sabacc game for a reward that's kind of big, and then things go down.
Yeah.
3 weeks to play a Sabacc game?
No. Lead up to the Sabacc game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's like the final thing.
He said 3 weeks to play the whole game, not the DLC.
The DLC took me 2 days.
Oh, yeah. But still, like the DLC is just a Sabacc game?
No. Sabacc game is like,
it's not even middle, I guess.
Not even, I mean, it's a major part of it, but it's not.
Gotcha.
Long.
Yeah. So you go undercover to get to the Sabacc game.
Okay.
And then things happen at the game that causes.
It takes place on like a space yacht, basically. And it's like a secret, like illegal, like Sabacc game. And the reward is a pretty huge deal. I don't want to spoil that part, but you first have to like find a way onto the ship. So then like that's the first part of the mission is like you follow a person that you know is involved with it, and then once you get on the ship you have to disguise yourself as one of the players that's registered to play. And so you have to like find out more about her and learn all the things and find out where she is, and then you go undercover as her in the game, and then something goes wrong with the game, and then you're trying to escape, and yeah, it gets better and better as you go along.
Cool.
It's really cool.
And then the second one with Hondo is all about like treasure hunting, of course, with Hondo. And he had been a partner of the guy, I forget his name, the guy that used to own the ship that Kay has. And so he sends a message to the ship thinking it's him, but then Kay answers it. And then he's like, well, I need a partner for this treasure hunt. And then, you know, things go as things with Hondo always go. And
nice.
It's really good.
I'm excited to play that.
Sweet.
I guess that's it, unless there's anything else we can think of.
I don't think so.
No.
All right, we'll see you next time.
You are listening to Galaxy Bound Podcast. We do monthly episodes talking about all things Star Wars. We'd greatly appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you are watching or listening from. It helps us grow and reach more people. You can follow us on social media on basically every platform out there at GalaxyBound TV, or check us out at our website at galaxybound.tv for links to them all. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Like, everybody just jumped on the Wii.